it's probably going to be a long ass video, this one, because that's, you know, I did separating stuff out into stupid little things like I've been doing. Sure, it makes it easier to search things, but, you know, it's just not me, and I go off and run on tangents. I've tried to note down a lot of semi-similar stuff so that it's actually on a set subject rather than just go off on a massive rant and just get completely sidetracked, although I'd quite like to. Well, let's get on with it. So yeah, I was playing Naruto The Broken Bond, which is based on the best chapter that I've seen up to in the Naruto anime series, which is a good series and you should see it. And they missed out some important things, but you know, they gloss over some things, like how when he's doing his Rasengan, however you want to pronounce it, can't seem to say it right, he used his shadow clone jutsu to control the things in it. They completely glossed over that. I mean, sure, you can see one of his shadow clones do it in fights, but when you're actually learning it, you don't use the shadow clone jutsu to take control of it. But one thing I want to actually talk about is how, because it's a lot of mini games, and perhaps it was on the Wii originally, it would be a brilliant Connect title. And I don't know if they've considered that, for example, because you could use like things like that to charge your jutsu, and then like different hand signals to do the different things, so everyone have their own. Like you could hold your hands to your side for the Chidori and Rasengan, you know, they would both be things after charging jutsu up, and because they all seem to like do that sort of move when they're charging, so that could be the universal charging your jutsu, and as it goes up on the gauge, and then you do your individual move. But I don't know how you would do, for example, eye movement ones. But like 1,000 times, that would be the most ridiculous one, just wave your arms all around. So, yeah. Or is it 10,000s, you know, just the two different ones. One's the attacking one and the other's the defensive one. Yeah, it would be a really fun game. And how do they run? You know, how they're always leaning forwards and using their arms to counterbalance themselves, they're running backwards. So they wouldn't necessarily see that on the thing. So if you had your, I can't do it sat down and look at the camera, but just slightly out to the side, that could be the running. Or walking, you could put your foot forward like they do in Rise of Nightmares. That would be a good idea. And no, I don't have Rise of Nightmare written on my list. It came to me, the next thing on my list is the Tron MMO, because I watched Tron Legacy, and it was well done how they did it, and I thought, you know, it stuck true to the franchise, and at the end how he took her out into the real world from being created virtually or born virtually, you know, she was a naturally born entity in the world, and most of them were wiped out and she was the last of her kind. She transferred into the real world, you know. It could lead into its own things, like what would happen if she had a baby with him now, because she was digital, you know, would they have a superhuman person in the real world? It's be interesting to know, but they moved to Tron MMO, and rather than it being based on the movie, it's based in between, which I thought was a clever idea. And you know, you could be this non-entity or just a user taking control, or even just a program. I don't know exactly how it works, but if it is a user, that makes sense. You know, you're just a user taking control over one of the characters in the main frame and going out and exploring, and it just sounded a really good idea. I've yet to find the dog players, so I don't know what it's like, but I'd be interested. On the talk of Kinect conversions though, Fable is going to be a massive fail. I mean, it just seems so ridiculous riding your horse around. It just, you know, it could be a successful title, but it's not sticking to the Fable franchise. It's just a terrible, terrible idea in relation to Fable. And if there's a lot of story based on it before it goes into the next Fable, it's kind of screwing itself over. But they've got the Fable Online, and I saw someone playing a video of that. It's like a little thing like Clockwork Knights, but with the 4 heroes. And one of them was like, "Ooh, I don't know who this person is," and calling themselves such a Fable experts, and you know, they're the 4 heroes that are based on the Heroes of Legends. Obviously they're meant to be slightly different for the Fable Connect game, but Hammer and, you know, the person of will, the person of hero. Why am I struggling to think of the word hero? The hero of strength, the hero of will, the hero of power, you know, etc, etc. Let's gloss over that. But Fable 3 was on Xbox originally, and then it pushed over to PC. Now you buy it on Steam, and it comes forced with Games for Windows Live. Now this is stupid because, you know, it's already got its own thing through Steam. You know, you've told them, you know, you've got proof of purchase, but then somewhere in the process it's kind of like, we haven't recognised it's gone into your Games for Windows Live account. I mean, sure, all your DLC that you bought is also there, but we haven't recognised that you've got the actual title, and you have to reload it about 3 or 4 times just to get it to confused state that it will actually load the game which you've paid for, and you have just somewhere in the cross communication it's screwed itself over. And another major issue with Games for Windows Live is they force you to use either the keyboard and mouse or an Xbox gamepad. It's a PC. I want to be able to use my PC gamepad. But not only that, I've got a wireless Xbox 360 gamepad, but there's no way to make that work with a PC. Not even, according to GameStation, with a quick charge kit which clicks into USB. No, because that's only to charge the pad, it won't actually let you play with it. So, you know, you have to buy a specialised PC Xbox gamepads to play your PC games on a gamepad. Does that just sound a bit stupid to you? I mean, where's the fair competition? Maybe force you use Microsoft's PC pad to play your game on your PC, because it's a monopoly and has full control and it will tell you exactly what to do. And yeah, Steam and non-purchased up games in stores, you know, I've gone in a sensible sort of order, I think, because some games you can buy in stores will have a PC code that you can use on Steam, some won't. But, you know, it's not too big a deal, but it would be nice if Steam let you put games that you do have ownership and proof of ownership, so that they're actually associated with your account, so you can use them anywhere without having to install it off your CD every time. Now, I'm sure the next on the list, no, but I'll go to it anyway. I'll skip things in different orders. Yeah, the next series of Xbox apparently is to do. They originally wanted it so you had no CDs. It was all just, you know, you use code to download it. But because people don't like that, they've made it so that you have to be online at all times to play it. Now, this could screw people over without internet connections. If your internet goes down, you know, it's anti-piracy and all that, but it just seems a little ridiculous. And if you're going to have to prove everything with activation codes and all that, then I want it cross title, you know, so you can put it on your PC if you bought it on your Xbox, and vice versa, you know, because if you've got the digital rights management and you've bought the game, then let you play it on whatever the hell you want. So, you know, you do own the game, let me play it on a different title. So let me play my Steam games on my Xbox and my Xbox games on my PC. It just seems fair if you're going to do it like that, because the whole reason people buy console games is so they can buy them and trade them in half the time. I mean, I pretty much own all the ones I ever owned, apart from like a couple of really, really shit ones that I traded in that had good trading equity. But yeah, and all GameStation everywhere seems to be closing. Manchester, Birmingham, where I live, it's in the district outside of Birmingham, just all GameStation stores are closing all of a sudden at once, because Game bought them up a while ago and now they're closing them all down. So yeah, Steam Winter Sale, there was a competition, as there always is, where you earn certain achievements and you win things, and some people were going, oh, why can't we pick what games we want, why can't we pick what prize we win, because everyone would pick some premium ass game and take the piss, wouldn't they? You know, it's fair. It was a competition, you get a random thing occasionally, you either got a coal or a discount coupon or a game, and you can trade with each other for different discount coupons, different games, and you know, fair enough. Some people seriously took the piss and created multiple Steam accounts and were taking advantage of the free games and earning 6 million different things and basically taking the piss of the whole system and trading them to themselves and trading them off with other people. So some of them ended up with like 600 coal and a ton of games just for doing the free things over and over and over. And I'm sure you're only allowed one Steam account per person, so that really took the piss. And they were also still complaining that they didn't get to pick the premium half games they wanted. I did a bit of trading, I did it fairly, you know, I kept my own singular Steam accounts, I traded some coal for games, I kept some coal, about 20, for the competition that I could have really grafted into a game possibly. And you know, I traded some coal off for some games and some people offering them cheap, you know. I thought, hey, I'll take it before one of these idiots nicks it, because I'll actually play the game rather than, you know, do something stupid with it. And I had, from where I bought Monday Night Combat, and then I thought, I really disliked the community, and like, I can't, another one that took the piss, I couldn't play my PC Game Pass on the stupid game. So, you know, that's another reason I didn't buy it, and I had originally bought 4 copies because I thought, you know, I'll give out 3 copies to other people. So I kind of traded them 3 spare copies that I had off to get games that I'd actually play. Can you blame me? But I got about 9 games, I think it was 9 or 10 in the end from the Steam Winter Sale, about 20 quid each, through various trading, you know, traded some stuff up, traded some stuff down. Got one that was 25 quid originally for, or 30 quid for a copy of Monday Night Combat that was really a game that was not for me, and then I traded it back down to a 20 quid game. So, you know, that one, and I got a Dota 2 tradable and traded that off for Darksiders. I could have got a better game probably, you know, but I wasn't going to complain. It was a 30 quid game and it was on my wish list, so I thought, hey, you know, I'll take it rather than sit out for a 50 quid game. Some people were doing, but I wasn't going to take the piss, you know. First off was the best offer, and it came along, it was reasonable, it wasn't taking the piss like some people that were like, can I trade my 20p game for your 10 quid game? No. Can I trade a coal for your 20 quid game? No. Can I trade 2 coupons that you're never going to use for your 20 quid game? Definitely not. No. You know, don't take the piss. Come with sensible offers, and I even said no coal and coupons, and people are still adamantly trying to trade coupons and coal. So let's see what will happen in the summer sale. Will Steam even do it with the amount of people that took the piss out of this winter sale? Yet to be seen. They might only offer DLC and stuff, but they may offer some games. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. I have been ranting on for ages. And Portal 2, eventually, that I've been meaning to talk about for ages, or post-play. I'm probably going to cut it in, because look, we're 15 minutes. I'm going to take a sip of tea. So, enjoy. Aren't you privileged to watch me drink a cup of tea? Because it's been going cold down. It's still reasonably warm. Yeah, Portal 2. Was nowhere near as stressful as I thought it was going to be, because I was based all my judgments on the advanced test chambers, and they didn't bother doing any advanced test chambers on the Portal 2 levels, which was a bit disappointing. But they did, from the outset, I'll note, have the Portal 2 level creator. It was on the tool, you know, it was fairly hidden away. Most people didn't notice how to play with it when it first came out, and it was quite complex. I don't know if now that they've announced and made it, you know, Steam Workshop, that it's any better. It might still be exactly the same. Who knows? Yeah, enough about the level design. I might play some levels now that people are making because they're more advanced and, you know, they might be more of a challenge. But we shall see. But anyway, and I'm saying that too much. I could do the Northern Line thing of it. Here's the drinking game. When I say boss, you have to drink, and you'd have drunk a lot now because I've said a lot. I don't know, 6-7 times in the last minute. I don't know. But enough of buts. That's the Northern Line thing too, to really take the piss when you send something too many times. I'll put a link to his channel because I've mentioned him a few times now. It's fun to watch some of his stuff. He does some reviews of games that are coming out, so might be worth having a look at. Anyway, to avoid saying that word, they completely missed out the excursion tunnels, or however they're called, the things that suck, the big vacuum tunnels. I think they had problems programming them in, so they did not use them in the full title. They replaced them with other things. So, you know, it kind of would have been useful because there were hints that would have been gathered from using them that would have been useful. There's one point in it where they kind of got around not doing it by just having a vacuum mysteriously suck you in and weep you when you cut off the neurotoxin with lasers. But sorry. Anyway, am I successful? Yes. Right. Train of thoughts. Get on with this. Fucking this up, seriously. What was I thinking? Yes. Towards the end, there's a point where well, right at the very end, you've beaten Wheatley. I should have noted spoilers from the outset. And yes, Wheatley is the bad guy, as you will gather. And you sat there listening to him drivel on, and then you see the moon, and really, you know, he's talking on, and I didn't think this was going to work, and I think, oh, the moon, I wonder what would happen if I shoot a portal up there, and then it's like, oh, that worked, oh, that was what I was meant to do, oh, I've completed the game, whoops. You know, I was just doing this while he was there, and I thought, oh, the moon's up there, ooh, I wonder if I can hit that. And obviously, if they'd have had the excursion tunnels, or whatever they're called, to suck, you know, you'd have instantly thought, ooh, I can suck him out into space by shooting the moon. No, I just thought, ooh, the moon, I wonder if I can put a portal on that. Nothing to do with sucking him out into space, but it works. And yeah. So, and back to the start. Wheatley's first. I never trusted him from the outset. I mean, you know, I'll turn around while I do this and do that and blah blah blah. And really, he's not really clever. And he's just being stupid and ripping apart circuitry and trying to pretend that he's hacking it. You know, like, turn around while I do this so you can't see me rip this wall apart. You know, rip the wires out. And then, that's the point where you're escaping from GLaDOS. Actually, I'm skipping over something very important. Where you go to the end, there's the robots that play out the song to you, and that's how GLaDOS letting you go. Now, they've been practicing this song for a while, haven't they? And there's a point where you're going through, and there's an Easter egg where there's the robots hiding in this thing that you can go in with the other robot behind it, and if you kill that robot, then you can go in, and you hear them playing the song to the fat turret, which is the rocket turrets, which they were originally planning to have in but never put in, because that's what the fat turrets would have been, like, you know, portable rocket turrets. But I'm guessing something went wrong in programming and they couldn't incorporate that, so the lack of rocket turrets didn't help, you know. But enough about that. They're rehearsing the song for when GLaDOS is going to release you, because why else would they be rehearsing the song that early? You know, she was planning on letting you go. But no. I mean, she was even already working on the cooperative initiative before you tried to escape. She was going to let you go. She was working on, you know, they were going to be your replacement. She was happy to let you go. You know. But no. Wheatley's in charge. Wheatley's took control of everything. He's in charge of the walls, he's in charge of everything while you're escaping at that point. And you're getting out, and GLaDOS says, come back, you know, and everything will be fine. And Wheatley is jealous, because you go back, and it's just GLaDOS. He's jealous. He seals you in. He cuts off the door, and instantly kills you with neurotoxin. That's never been GLaDOS's way. GLaDOS has never instantly killed you. Never done anything like that. She's always given you a chance to escape. She's always provided something as a test for you to work it out. And even later she says that that's the way she has to operate, because she has to test you, because it's a built-in pathological need of the system, you know. You have to test. And if you don't, you get this craziness. And that's why she's been testing you like that. Wheatley wanted to kill you instantly for going back. It was all Wheatley's fault that you would die there, not GLaDOS's. And so, when Wheatley's in charge, stuff happens, blah 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 blah. Where am I going? Nowhere with that, I think, because I want to talk about something else. Right. Who is GLaDOS? GLaDOS is Caroline. You find this out later. So, who is Caroline? Caroline is an assistant to Cave Johnson, who was originally in charge of everything, and when he died he left it to Caroline, and it was Caroline's subconscious that got transferred into GLaDOS. So, think back to a few videos in the promotional videos, and a video I talked about that wasn't my Half-Life 3 Portal 2 video, Half-Life 3 video, you know, they're both in the same thing. It was in another video, I think, that I mentioned this, that Caroline could be Shell, because there's a point where it goes, take it away Caroline, to test the falling boots. Thus, it says that, and then it's Chell running and testing them, so Chell could be Caroline. And GLaDOS is Caroline, and that name is nothing to do with it. So why is Chell Caroline? Well, because what happened to Caroline the body? Who is Chell? Chell is a mindless body, you know, and she's often saying that. GLaDOS is saying you're just a dumb, mindless muse. And that's what she is. She's the instinct left over. Caroline's intelligence has gone into GLaDOS. Caroline, what do you call it? Just the natural instinct, the basic instinct. That's all Chell is. Caroline's base natural instinct. And why does GLaDOS always say, oh, you're fast, oh, you know, you're useless, blah blah blah? It's because a lot of women are like that subconsciously. They're like, oh, I'm too fast, or I'm useless, or I don't deserve this, blah 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 blah. She's transferring her own hatred of herself onto her body, essentially, and that's why she's always saying, oh, you're too fat. And in the end song itself she says Caroline was a lot like you, maybe not quite as heavy, you know. She's still taking digs at herself, because saying, oh, you're a fatter version of me, blah blah blah. But essentially she's just revealing the fact that Chell is Caroline, and maybe in the sequel there will be a reunification where, you know, it will have to happen, because maybe that'll even be the name, Gods of Three Reunification, because she still needs human attributes to test, you know, because as it's revealed in the cooperative testing initiative, the robots aren't enough, and once, you know, it's complicated whether it's meant to happen before or after, because I would originally thought before, because how it finds the humans at the end, but maybe it's meant to be after, so after she's let you go, but it's theoretical that it's between. It's after Portal 1, so, you know, after GLaDOS, but then GLaDOS wouldn't be awake, so it would have to be during the escape, so, you know, that's why it would also make sense that way. It's during the first bit, the part where she's letting Caroline go and she's using the cooperative testing robots, and then she's trying to find more humans to work with, and then she finds them at the end, and but then that doesn't make sense to the way I originally thought, which was that the people at the end were where she found, you know, Chell's clone copy of herself, because that's what it is, you know, they're all Chell, they're all clones of Caroline. There's no, you know, the mindless bodies that she's using to test with, and one eventually escapes, and it's probably getting complex. But yeah, that, and then the new DLC that they added on kind of goes against all that, because it's saying, oh, you know, this is happening now and Caroline's escaping. Although it could be that it was, that's after, you know, and there's a gap between, because there is a gap between when it was released, so you do that first, then the main mission, then the DLC add-on, and that would be a natural progression. It's just saying how she lied to Caroline, and how, well, why am I, Chell, I'm calling her Caroline also now. You know, it's Chell, and how Chell's escaping, and blah blah blah. And then once it all happens, but then at the end she's like, oh no, the birds, like it's all already happened previously, not that it's still going on, so it also contradicts itself there, because the birds only make sense after the main story, when she was a potato, and potato, song, I think that was a potato song you should look at it. And then she's raising the birds, and she's going to make them mechanical hybrids, evil killing machines, which would be good for Portal 3 to be having birdie killing machines fighting you. That'd be quite fun. It's, yeah, out in the Half-Life universe, because you're out in the streets and you'll be facing all of them enemies, and also GLaDOS's bird killing machines. But yeah, she gave up protecting you, protecting herself, because she was protecting you from going out into the outside world to face all of that, and that's why she was keeping you inside. But now she's like, no, just go, you know, whatever. Have your companion cube, which I save for you because you're me, and, you know, I didn't want to kill it, and you care about it just as much as me because you are me, and that's why you love this companion cube, which has probably been reprogrammed to stab you in the back at its first opportunity, so don't listen to it. If it talks to you, it's going to lie to you, because it will tell you your name is Chell, and your name is actually Caroline. Yeah. Make sense? I hope so. I'm sure there's a lot more I was going to talk about, but I've talked about that alone for 15 minutes. So, you know, maybe I should have made this its own video like I was originally planning. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll edit it. Quite how sorry I won't. So, yeah. new Xbox, blah blah blah, talk about that, Xbox backward compatibility. Let's hope that they actually do it this time, because like I bought Dino Crisis 3, which I wanted to play, because it never came out on any other system other than the Xbox. I can't play it on my Xbox 360, and it's a big title, so you know, it takes the piss that big titles you can't play on your Xbox 360 because I haven't made it backward compatible. So maybe I need some sort of special. That could be stupid, it could make my computer crash. But, you know, it's an emulator so that I can actually play it. Because I want to play it. Oh yeah, most of the internet has become Windows 7 only, which is taking a piss, which is why I can't use an Xbox PC. Xbox, it's not an Xbox, it's an XP PC. Lo and behold, if they made an Xbox PC, the world would implode. Yeah, most of the internet is Windows 7 only, especially eBay and a few other things. Like, sure, they've made Windows 7 completely different, so, you know, you either have to have one or the other, but let's just hope they don't continue this trend with future versions of Windows. Like the next version of Windows, you'll have to completely update everything again, because they've completely changed everything, so that would really take the piss. And then I would really stop using Windows completely, because, you know, if they're just going to be like that, it would just put me off using PCs forever. And I've got off using Xboxes because they had taken the piss, and, you know, I'm not going to pay their stupid Xbox Live subscription. And that's another thing. If you're going to be forced to use the internet only for the Xbox 360, come on, you have to pay an Xbox Live subscription just to play your computer games? I'd definitely go back to the PlayStation. The other reason I swapped from the PlayStation to the Xbox 360 is because of titles that were only coming out on the Xbox that I wanted to play, like Dino Crisis 3. But I can't even play that on the 360, so I'll go on to PC because I don't want to play Windows Live, so I can play my internet games, because a lot of games coming out now are internet only. Or, you know, 50% of the content is online. So if I want to play them, I need an internet connection, so my PC can do that, rather than the Xbox 360, which you have to pay on top of to play the games, whereas the games are cheaper on the PC and it's free to use the internet on them. So, you know, Microsoft, pull yourself together, no one's going to want to use you. Diablo 3's SMB, yes, and they've spent millions of pounds on that FMV, and it's also nothing to do with the gameplay, and the adverts have gameplay not shown, just the FMV, and could be quite misleading to people. Sure, the game might appeal to some people, but they could get completely the wrong idea from the FMV, and I'm wondering if they go back to the days where they used to use actors in these things. Would it be cheaper just to use actors against the blue screen than to make the FMVs of these ultra realistic looking people? You know, it might have been a lot cheaper, but I don't know the cost of these things these days, so who's to say? And that is the end of my massive long list, finally. Only 35 minutes, well 33 minutes and 10 seconds, plus the 5-second introduction and me blabbing on even longer. 50% of this is a positive thing, but I knew I was going to talk about that for ages, so I should have made it its own video, like I was planning to. Fail. Oh well. I wonder what I'm going to call this. Perhaps the reason I didn't do it is because they, like, you know, if you talk about some things in your title, it's like, can't monetize this video. I wonder why not. It makes more sense to me what is and what isn't, even though I haven't used any copyrighted material or my own material, so, you know, oh well. Hopefully this will be entertaining. Should be, I mean, I've talked about a load of gibberish and crap, and it should be fun and entertaining, but take care, good gaming.